Mm.
Yes, people, we're back. 12th man's back with the Arsenal roundabout. It's this evening, Wednesday, 10 p.m. The Champions League for this tie is pretty much done, and we all know who is getting who in the next rounds. Now, there's been no extra time tonight. Everyone's gone through, and there's been some absolute spankings as far as the English teams are concerned. But not Arsenal. Arsenal are through nice and comfortably. We're going to talk about that Champions League. We're also going to look to lead up to the big, massive game on Sunday. Huge cup final. And there's some questions I want to throw to the panel. So do me a favor, hit like and subscribe. Make sure that you're following OK Jersey. 12 man is the code you need. 8% discount on all jerseys. The World Cup shirts are out as well, people. So you can get any name and number on the back of those as well. So please go and show them some love. The link's in the description or it's in the live chat now. I've pinned it for you. So all you need to do is click on it and you can get that. And if you do want to treat anyone for birthday presents, then please do so as well. We've got Kenny Ken in the house, Positive Dance here. We've got D from Famzone TV, Brandon back in the house as well, and Stricto and Guna Lee could be jumping on as well. Listen, there's a lot to discuss, if I'm honest. Champions League has been obviously topical for the last couple of nights, but there's a lot to talk about leading up to the weekend, and there's definitely a couple of questions I want to throw to the panel. But first of all, I want to ask you as a panel, can we win this Champions League? Because I look right now and I see a lot of inconsistencies with these teams. I look at a Barcelona side that looks easily carved open. I look at a English teams that have just completely embarrassed our league, if I'm honest, other than Liverpool tonight, who, let's be real, fair play to them, and Arsenal, who went through. There's PSG, there's Bayern Munich, there's obviously Real Madrid. Is it a little bit too early at the moment, Kenny? Or is it put your money on Arsenal because they look the best in the Champions League and go all the way? What are we saying?
Well, one thing is factual about Arsenal. Will be the hardest team to play against. Will be the hardest team to break down. Because you're right, Barcelona won 7-2, but that Newcastle opened them up like a can of beans, especially at the first half. And should have got a penalty. Could have gone 3-2 up. Barcelona get their penalty and then run away with it. They still concede goals. PSG last week against Chelsea could have gone either way. They concede goals. One thing that all these teams we're talking about, Barcelona, PSG, Atletico Madrid, they ain't breaking us down like they break down a lot of these English sides. But the problem Arsenal have is the league's so intense and there's no rest whatsoever. And our associations don't help us. Look at the help that the Spanish associations give to Spanish teams. Look at the help that PSG got with their fixtures. Premier League ain't helping us. They're not doing anything for us. All they're going to they fit in their leagues to be on and everything. And all the games are hard anyway because every team's going to try against us. So taking it into the Champions League, biggest worry is fatigue and injuries. If we can keep everyone fit and we can still maintain those physical levels, why not? But I'm just not sure because our league will count against us. That's my opinion. But defensively, they ain't a better team than us defensively, and we won't be opening up. But key players have to keep fit.
Yeah, facts. I agree. Positive Dan, let me come to you with this question. Should we focus on the domestic cups as it seems the Champions League's a bridge too far? Heritage clubs look good. Will our attack cost us? I don't agree with this. I think the Champions League, we've still got a great chance. I think it's a little bit early. I said the cup final was amongst us. The league's looking good. The FA Cup and the Champions League, the draws have been kind to us. We can't complain about that. But I still think it's a little bit early to pick winners. You can all have a guess and a kind of opinion on who you think will win it. But I don't think we should be focusing on just the domestic cups. I think we need to focus on all four, in my opinion. But what are you saying for this Champions League, Dan?
The starters, that was a stupid question, wasn't it, Dan? Really? Now, come on, let's have it right. For the Sunday, the final's done. So that's that domestic cup done, whether we win it or not. And then the FA Cup, we play Southampton away. Now, listen, you won't be able to rotate nowhere near it. No, you can't play that team that played Mansfield against him, but you can maybe rest 4, maybe 5 players and still expect to go and get the job done. But I've always said from the start of the season, if there's going to be one cup that we maybe, I don't like using the word sacrifice, but if we are going to rotate heavily on, it's going to be the FA Cup. I said this year that for the first time ever, I've seen the Carabao Cup as more important than the FA Cup, just because it's in March. And if we win that Carabao Cup, if we are in another final in May, be it the Champions League final or the FA Cup final or a title run-in, which I've been saying all season, which we're clearly in a title run-in, we're heavy favourites now, it's going to give them monumental belief. So listen, now, before it was huge for the league, but I pretty much think the league is close to being done. I don't think, even if we were to lose the final, I don't think it stops us from winning the league. Whereas if we were maybe neck and neck with City, possibly, I could have thought like that. But as for the Champions League, I mean, the draw we've got, listen, respect to all of these teams, but they're teams we should be beating. Leverkusen, Sporting Lisbon as well, we should be beating them. Then you're in a semi-final. There's no way in hell that you're not going to go all out for that Champions League. You know, if we've got, let's say we get through Southampton when we play Chelsea or Liverpool, and we've got them on the Saturday, midweek, we've got a Champions League game against Atletico Madrid or Barcelona, then you're resting for that. I don't care if it's Chelsea or Liverpool, you're resting players in that, and you're going strong in the Champions League game. Can we win the Champions League? Yes, of course. At the start of the season, everyone knows, you know, I've said that I think Arsenal will win the Premier League. I've been very ballsy with it. And I've maintained that all season. I said I think we'll end up with at least 2 trophies. I've said we can win the quad. Everyone called me crazy. Doesn't look so crazy now. We're 8.5 to 1 with the bookies. I got us at 50 to 1. So look, the Champions League, once you get to the semi-final, anyone can win it. That's, you know, listen, the knockout stages are where it really gets serious. But this year, when we get to that semi-final, is when it's going to be, you know, we're going to be playing either Barcelona or Atletico Madrid, 2 experienced teams. Atletico have never won it like us. And judging by what I saw of them today and throughout this whole season, they concede a lot of goals. We've already beat them 4-0. I wouldn't be too worried about them. Barcelona, you alluded to the high line, but they score goals for fun. You have a bad day at the office against Barcelona, and we could be out, you know. So Barcelona, and looks like you'd either be playing Bayern Munich or Liverpool, who we haven't beat this season. So the Champions League, you can have a bad 1 minute and you're out. We all remember when City were playing against Real Madrid and they were going through, and then Madrid scored 2 in the last minute. It can happen, you know. The heritage, I understand what you're saying. They've got heritage. We need to make that heritage. We may never have a better chance to go and win the Champions League. The draw's been kind to us. Our team, you know, hope if we are in the Champions League final, it's likely we would have just won the Premier League. So we'll be on the biggest high. So I think there's a great chance, Dan, of us winning that Champions League. We're favourites for a reason. I think there's a great chance. I wouldn't go out and say we're going to win the Champions League like I had with the league, because, like I said, any you have a bad 30 seconds in a game and you're out, and you're up against the best in Europe. But I am starting to lean towards more now, thinking that we are going to win it.
Let me ask you, Brandon and D, what's the minimum expectation in this Champions League now? Because I see the draw, and I know you shouldn't look far ahead, but we all do it. Yeah, we all look at where we should be at. What's the minimum expectation for this Arsenal side, in your opinion, considering we're going for everything else as well? I'll start with you, D.
Well, really and truly, the minimum expectation for everything is to win it. That's the minimum expectation that you have. You want to win. You want to win everything. But it's quite funny because regardless of how we all feel at the beginning of the season and during the season, nothing's actually changed. Like, the team's still playing exactly the same. The players are still playing exactly the same. We're still defensively solid like we were 3-4 months ago. Nothing's actually changed. All that's happened is we've just stayed consistent, and it's the same things just happened. It's just been repeated. But nothing's actually changed, because even in the when everyone was feeling away and, oh, can we do it? And we're worried about mentality and Arteta needs to tweak this and tweak that. Nothing's changed at all. It's exactly the same thing as it was in December. This is exactly the same team. And not only is it just the same team, we were top of the Champions League. We finished top of the Champions League. We beat Bayern Munich already. We beat Atletico Madrid already. We beat those teams already. So normally what happens in the Champions League is you don't play those teams until the later rounds. So you don't actually get a chance to know where you kind of stand or where you kind of fare. This new Champions League format allows us, no Arsenal fans should be worried about Bayern Munich. No Arsenal fans should be worried about Atletico Madrid. No Arsenal fans should be worried about any of the English teams, because we see them week in, week out. There's no European team that any Arsenal fan in this day and age should be worried about, unless you're just one of them people that just think, oh, we can lose because we can lose any game of football. So there's no really any fear from any team in Europe for us. And then really and truly, like Dan said, everything that's happening right now, like the Carling Cup has come at a good and a bad time, because it's like it can kind of make you feel like it's derailed you, or it can say if we win the League Cup, I think everyone in England, not just Arsenal fans, will think we'll win the league, guaranteed. I think everyone will think where this team are going to go on and just start winning everything. But if we lose that, I just feel like it just puts doubt into everyone again and stuff like that. So I think it's me personally, I think it's come at, I don't know, like a good and a bad time. Like if we win it, it's a good time. If we lose it, it's a bad time. It's one of those ones. But I don't think anyone should be worried or fearful of any team in Europe currently. I feel like we need to start having a bit more faith in our team, believing in our team. Our team's shown us they got the character, they got the drive. When City were on us and they started catching up to us, we responded immediately, and we've continued to do that. So I feel like everyone needs to start realizing, you know what, this team's the real deal. Whether we win or don't win, this team has shown character already, and just start saying, you know what, let's do our job, which is support the team and let the team go on to do what they've been doing, because they've showed us all season that they're the real deal, regardless.
Brandon, do you worry or fear about anyone in this Champions League, or do you feel like Arsenal can go all the way and finally lift it?
We can definitely go all the way, Dan. There's no question about that. I've said for a while now, I think the way we play football is best suited to this competition anyway. I think if we can get to the final, we've proven we can give any team on the planet, we can beat any team on the planet in a one-off game. There's no doubt about that. Over the two legs, it's a little bit different because, like Kenny was explaining, you got all the fixture pile up from all the competitions that we're currently in. We don't get any favours by the Premier League. It's high intensity every 2, 3, 4 days. So to maintain that across 3-4 competitions is going to be difficult. But I think if we can make the final, then it's anybody's game, really, because we've proven time and time again this season that even if we're not playing at our absolute best, we find a way of winning games, and that's what gives me a bit more confidence again if we can make the final, because whoever we come up against, whether it's a PSG, a Bayern Munich, a Liverpool, whoever, we find ways of winning games at this moment in time, and you can't knock that. Obviously a lot of us are been a bit bored of the way that we play, and it's not very entertaining, but it gets results, and providing it continues to get results, I don't see why we can't win the competition, Dan. I think we're best placed. When you look at the draw, I expect us to beat Sporting Lisbon over 2 legs. I even expect us to beat Barcelona over 2 legs. I know they're very good going forward, but we're not going to open like Dan was saying. We're not going to open up like Newcastle did. There's no chance in hell we're going to allow Lamine Yamal and others the kind of space that they had against Newcastle tonight. Not a chance. So, and we are good enough going forward. We proved that last night. We just don't see it regularly enough, and since the Brentford game, we have kind of stunk our way through games and just get results. So I think last night the performance was absolutely needed, because we need to be able to still show that from an attacking standpoint more than anything else, that we can do the business. And I think last night's game was probably one of the best attacking displays that I've seen from Arsenal this season, in terms of all of our attacking players, our front four, performing at a high standard. So providing we can continue that, again, it's going to be difficult, but just bring me trophies. I don't really care what it is. Just bring me trophies. And of course, on Sunday, we get to start that. I'm pretty confident about beating Man City. I can't lie. They look a bit stressed over there. I was hearing remontada and all of this, that. They obviously didn't, get the assignment. Pep's stressed. He's been shopping in the thrift shop. He's dressing like Tony Hawk's grandfather. You know what I mean? Like, it looked to me like them 115 charges might be coming in after all, because he was dressed like he was going to be outside the Etihad after the game, asking for change to save the Etihad. Do you know what I mean? That's what he was looking like. So, yeah, pretty confident, Dan. Don't care what trophies we win. It'd be nice to win the Champions League, of course, because we've never won it before. But
No,
yeah,
you want the Premier League, though, innit? You need that
Premier League.
though.
Premier League is a must. At this position, with the points gap, 7 games to go, I fully expect us to win the Premier League. I fully expect us to win.
Dan, can I ask you something just quickly? Do you remember when we was on
Yeah,
the
go on.
show? When was it, Dan? It must have been, I don't know when it was, around December maybe. And I said to you, would you take the League Cup now if you could end the season now, or would you just let it ride out? And you said you take the League Cup.
Yeah, that's different now because we're 7 points clear.
Of course, it's
At the
different now,
time
yeah.
when you asked me, I think we were like, I don't even know how many points we
It
were
might
clear,
have
but-
been. I think it was 4 points or something at the time.
Yeah.
But, oh yeah, because
Well,
I was on
I
Jez's show
also
earlier.
said
We were just
because I
discussing
said I think I don't know what show it's on. I do so much content that's crazy, but
it.
I think when people ask me about Mikel Arteta and said, "Oh, if he wins the League Cup, would you keep him?" and I said yes. Now I wouldn't because he's got to win that league. You can't go 7 points
yeah,
clear and lose
100%.
it. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think that League Cup wouldn't be enough for me now, whereas I think it would have been at the start of the season because I imagined that we'd be neck and neck with Man City. It looks like now we've got a little bit of a buffer. I don't want to see us bottle that again, man. I've got to be honest. But it's quite a nice segue really, because I wanted to kind of ask you, and I'll come to you, Stricto and Lee. Why are we winning this year? I know you don't know and you can't predict it, but you can give an opinion on what we're winning. And I don't think it's a question now of, are we going to win anything? I think it's what we're going to win, because I do believe we're winning trophies this season. So I want to know where
Can I
you're
just
at.
say real quick, Dan, right? I'm probably perceived as one of the negative fans. And even I'm finding it difficult to say right now that Arsenal ain't going to win all 4 trophies. Like, even I've got that
Wow.
feeling that we can do all 4 trophies. It's crazy, really.
That is
What's
mad.
changed?
I mean,
What's changed, Brennan?
Nothing's changed. It's just we're towards the back end of the season now. It's the business end. The team's doing its job. Whether we like the way, like I say, whether we like the way we're playing or not, we're getting results. We're in the latter stages of the Champions League. I expect us to at least make a semi-final. We're in the latter stages of the FA Cup. We're in the final of the Carabao Cup. We're 9 points clear in the league. And I'm looking at it now and I'm thinking, who's really going to stop us?
You see,
Who's
when you
gonna
talk
stop us?
about how we play in that and like being bored and things like that, the thing is, when people say that, see me when I watch Arsenal. Firstly, I watch Arsenal because I love Arsenal, right? I don't watch Arsenal to be entertained, and I want Arsenal to win. I get so engrossed in the game. When I'm watching the game, I'm not watching out for beautiful football or for it. I'm watching it is it's like when the ball's going there, the ball's going there. I want us to win the ball, intercept the ball. I want us to win the game. If we're 1-0 up, I don't want us to concede. Yeah, I want us to go and score the second, but I don't want us to concede. So, and when I win, the best feeling of coming out of a stadium, no matter how we've done it, is by winning. Now, yes, obviously you've got a bit extra spring in your step when you win 3 or 4-0. Or there's a great goal like yesterday from Eze. But when you're in this position and you're fighting on all 4 fronts and you go to Brighton and you get a 1-0 win the way we did, for me, that is just as satisfying as maybe when we go and slaughter someone like Leeds 4-0, because it just shows me that we can win in so many different ways, and you need that to win a Premier League title. There was a great bit with Thierry Henry and Jamie Carragher. They were talking about the evolution of Arteta and the way his styles changed over many years. He's played all different sort of brands of football, and he's shown he's just, some managers get so stuck. I only play this way. Arteta's gone 5 at the back when he first came in. He's gone fluid in 22, 23. It was a bit of a mix in 23, 24, scored the most goals. And when I come up with these stats, people say, what trophy did he get for that? But it just showed me that if you can get to score the most goals in the club's history, get 89 points, if you could do that again, there's a chance you're going to win a Premier League. Because if we get 89 points this year, we'll win the Premier League, won't we? And I do think next season, look, listen, let's get this season over the way first and enjoy it. But next season, I do think if we pick up a couple of trophies like we probably all expect us to now, I think naturally there'll be a bit more freedom in the players and maybe even in Arteta himself. This season, I'm not bored watching Arsenal at all. I can't get bored of watching my team win after win. You know, maybe in some of the games that you draw, you might. But listen, if we were playing entertaining football and we drew, I'm still going to be pissed off. You know,
Look, I think bored is the wrong word to use because I know
frustrating
some people
maybe,
have
innit?
used it. I think, yeah, maybe not even frustrated, maybe nervy because 1-0 against Brighton, I didn't enjoy that. I can't lie to you. I didn't enjoy that one. That was like, oh, come on, just get this whistle blown.
I don't know. I would say frustrating is probably right because when you look at the players, mate, it's mainly the attacking positions. When you look at the players that we have at our disposal, and you look at their qualities, and you think, are they doing enough? And there's been a lot of games this season where I've really questioned our attacking players and if they're doing enough. And I know we keep, getting over the line by any means necessary, and it's got us in this
It
position
is
now.
their first season,
But-
though. Like a lot of them, Madueke, Eze, Gyökeres. It is their first season playing together. So
Yeah.
You know what?
Let me come to Strict talk. Go on, Strict.
You know what I was gonna say? The feeling that Brendan you're feeling now is a feeling I think me, D, Dan has been feeling. Like we could see the play, we could see what the manager is doing, and I'm not trying to do the "I told you so" business because we haven't wrapped anything yet. But what you're feeling now is some form of what's the word I'm looking for? I won't say positivity, but you're feeling good. You're feeling optimistic. I think that's the word, right? And all along, I've said it. Sometimes I think when we've played bad, and I've always said, why does it always just jump on the manager? Why is everyone always saying this manager, this manager? Like you can see in some games, we've got 4 or 5 players out of it, not on it. Now, in a team of 11 players, if 4 or 5 players, that's nearly like half the team aren't on it. It's very, very difficult. You can say in most games, the most dependable the most dependable area in our team or department in our team is always our defense, which is the goalkeeper and the ones in front of him. Now, maybe you might get one other player, which is maybe Rice, but then the others just sort of like swap amongst them who's going to have a stinker. And it really affects us because what then happens is if our midfield aren't supporting the attack or the defense well, then the defense have to carry the workload of them not doing their job. And in most cases, we stink out the place, but it's never a defensive problem we have. It's a problem with players being off form. Like Dan just said, some of the players it's their first season at Arsenal. Granted, it's as frustrating as it is, but there's some levels of like we should have a bit more patient. And listen, I know Arteta's done a lot wrong. I know he's done a lot. He's done a lot to be criticized. But I think the criticism he's come under this year has been a joke. And every time I've jumped on here, I've looked and I've said, "Look, we're top of the table." Someone said, "Well, we won't be top of the table in January, or we won't be top of the table by Christmas." Or February came, or well, like the goalpost gets moved every single time. Then you talk about where we are in the Champions League, and then everyone says, "Oh, well,
them games
the
don't
Champions
count.
League isn't good this season. Look at this, look at that, look at that, look at this." And I don't quite understand it. But the feeling you're feeling is how I've felt all season because I could see what the manager was trying to do. And now I know we ain't gotten over the line for me to stand here or to sit here saying these things with chest. But like Dan, you said earlier, what do I think we're going to win? I think obviously the league, I think we're winning the league. I think for sure if we can go into on Sunday and get the League Cup, what that does is absolutely ruin Man City because I think that's probably the only chance of silverware this season. If we can do that, that then adds more notch to our belt into going into dominance. And you say this and people laugh at you and say, "Oh, why is it Arteta sexual? Oh, he's delusional." But it's literally what is happening. I can't see any team in England or in Europe better than Arsenal. We're the most balanced team in the world right now. You look at how well we defend. Yesterday was a brilliant game, and first time I would say in the whole season where we've actually stepped up a gear. Arsenal have yet to hit gear 2 yet or gear 3 this whole season. We're yet to move gears, and everyone's saying what the league is shit. But it's crazy is we haven't even got into like third gear yet. You know, and just imagine when Gyökeres starts clicking on a regular, or Zubimendi, or the left side, or Saka, like the trouble the rest of the league and Europe would be in. I just watched the Newcastle game now, and I'm thinking this Barcelona team will get ripped to shreds. They're way too naive. And yes, they have the name behind them. The name carries weight, but the current team, the current squad players in Barcelona would get turned over, both sides. They got turned over by Chelsea, and we spent how many weeks laughing at Chelsea. Chelsea won that game comprehensively. Bar a little blip by Newcastle. Newcastle could have had this game tonight, you know. So I think, listen,
Really, they could have had the game. Didn't they lose 7-2 or something?
If you've watched the first half, I
didn't see the game.
The first half was crazy. Like how Barcelona just turned up in the second half.
It was mad. Newcastle had them, man. It was mad.
To be fair, Newcastle should have won the first leg, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it was mad.
Mad how football works, isn't it, man?
And you listen to like people like Guillem Balaguer, you listen to who's this other guy, Roberto Martinez, and all these guys, all they say is Arsenal, the most fair team in Europe, and we haven't won shit yet. But everyone, these are like respectable people in the game, especially Guillem Balaguer. You know, he's been around Europe, the world. He can tell you a thing about football. You know, Martinez, international manager, he's played in the Premier League. He can tell you one or two things about football. These guys are saying, look, Arsenal are no joke. Like the way Europe sees us, unfortunately, isn't the way some of our fan base sees us, which is fair enough because we've got nothing to show for it. But this version of Arsenal that is calculated, that is very defensive, very aggressive, this style of play, I'm not bored of it. Boredom is not even the word. Yes, I get frustrated with certain players, but I'm not bored of it. But I think one thing we do very well is impose our game on oppositions. Like we take our time doing everything, and it's very, very, very effective. And I do believe once we get this over the line, this is going to be dominance for at least 2, 3, 4 seasons. I truly believe it. Arsenal need maybe 2, 3 more players to be an elite squad and an elite team. And this is all built by Mikel Arteta. And everyone will say, well, he's not good enough. The players, these are the players he has built. These are players that he has built. These aren't players. I mean, Bar Saka, Martinelli, and maybe one more. But every player there is Arteta's signing. And I don't think the likes anyone else can control and coach them like he does. And that's just how I see it.
Okay.
No, I agree. The only thing I would say, sorry, Dan. The only thing I would say is I want the Arsenal fan base to realize as well that we can lose on Sunday, because I feel like the situation that we've got right now, where we're all talking about the quad and we're all like kind of feeling like, yeah, we can do it. Because when you got people like Brandon and Gunali saying, yeah, we can win trophies, that's when you know that the team are actually performing to a level that everyone is coherent. So I feel like what we do have to know as a club and as a unit is we could still lose on Sunday, where everyone seems to think it's a foregone conclusion that we're going to win, and still still go on to win the Premier League. Like we still got to get behind the team to win the Premier League because we're still in good positions in other competitions. I don't want it to be a situation where, because Man City can beat us. We've got to remember that. I don't want it to be a situation where they win.
One of them comments there, D. How stupid is that? I'll be calling for him out. If we don't win it. Like, come on. Sorry to cut you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the point I'm making. Because what will happen is, I don't want it to be a situation because we can still win the trophies, regardless of which one it is. I don't think anyone win. Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying? So I don't want it to be a situation where it's meltdown now. We lost. We can't get over the line. We're in the final, and we got to the last hurdle. And that narrative can happen because we are playing Manchester City in the cup final. It's a one-off game. and we do know we're going to be not playing
Yo,
our
D, you see those
100 team.
narratives? Those narratives, I ain't even listening to it, bro, because these are probably the same guys that said, "Oh, he hasn't got us into a final yet." And again, like I said, the goalpost just gets moved every time. Now he has to win this now, because then they can stand on a narrative and an agenda to say, "Oh, well, look, we got to a final and we didn't win, and Man City been embarrassed by they haven't won a game in the last three games."
We agree he has to win the league, though, Strick, right?
But that's what it was. You remember last year when Chelsea won the Conference Cup? Remember they were holding up the scarf of winning every European trophy of all time. They won it. They're the first team to win every single European trophy. Remember that? Arsenal fans were getting told, "Oh, but you guys have not won anything." But Chelsea have won the Conference Cup. That's what we were hearing last year. Tottenham won the Europa League. We were hearing that Tottenham won the Europa League and Arsenal didn't win anything. We were told that we had to have a bad season to compete in those trophies, and everyone was saying we didn't win anything when we're in the semi-final of the Champions League.
Remember there was man saying they want Arsenal to go to Europa. Remember man was saying that.
I remember that. I remember you was on stream with Yardman, and Yardman's telling you that you should be winning Europe. You'd rather win the Europa League than
Champions League and go into Europa because we've got a better chance of winning.
I remember all of that. Bro. I remember all of that, fam. So the point I'm making is everyone needs to remember that, you know what, when you're competing at the highest level, you can lose. Do you know what I'm saying? It can happen, bro. It's not a thing where, oh, you must be able to win everything. It doesn't work like that. We're competing with one of the best managers and the best teams of all time. So we've got ourselves in a good position, and let's just support the team through it. We're in a brilliant, even if we don't win the League Cup, we're still in a brilliant position to win other trophies. That's the point I'm trying to.
Are we in the agreement though, D, that he has to win the league? He has to.
He will win the league. No, he will win.
In fact, I would even go as far as saying
when you say
he has to win at least 2 trophies this year.
See, that's what
considering
I'm saying.
The position we're in now, he has to win at least 2.
What does that mean? What do you mean he has to win 2 trophies? Like
he doesn't have to win 2. He has to win the Premier League.
He has to win the Premier League, but considering the position that we're in now, he has to win another one.
The position he's got us into.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Dan.
That don't make sense. That doesn't make sense.
How does that not make? Hang on. How does that not make sense? Look at the position that Arsenal. Look at the position that Arsenal are in. We're in the latter stages of all 4 competitions.
22 years.
My expectation has now changed. Expectations can change, boys. Yeah, we're in the latter stages of all competitions. I expect him to win the league, number 1. But I'm also expecting another trophy on top of that now because of the fact and the position that we are in.
But regardless,
for me, that is Sunday.
You expect it or not, Brandon, if we win the Premier League and that is it, listen,
cares?
that would be a remarkable achievement.
If we win the Premier League and we win nothing else, I will celebrate just as much as you, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Season in our history.
But we've also got to look at it from the standpoint of where we are in all these competitions. Surely you boys must be expecting more than 1 trophy this season now.
No.
Considering. You know what? There's expectations that I have, yeah. I feel like, but they're not even expectations per se.
No, it's still a long way to go.
We've got a final on Sunday, right? Which is
that's what I'm saying. So win that, I think we will.
Which personally is the closest we have to actually something tangible, right? The league, as much as I feel like we will win the league, that's not yet in my hand yet. The closest thing in my hand is the League Cup, right? Which is this Sunday.
Yeah,
we win that with my expectations of winning the league. That's 2 trophies. Now the league is nowhere near done yet, but how I see the team grinding, I feel like that's something we can achieve. Ultimately, the league is the biggest one. That is the biggest one. If you add the Champions League next to it, and even though I feel like we're the best team in Europe, but at the moment now, the Champions League stopped being a league competition. It's now a knockout competition. Anything can happen. If it was a league competition like how it was the earliest stage and we finished top, proving that we are top by a long mile, cool. But it doesn't. Champions League doesn't work like that. It gets into knockout phases. This is how PSG last season we really didn't have a strong Champions League campaign in the league phases, but then the knockout phases they blew everyone out. So it's.
And look, people in the chat are even taking everything that I just said out of context. Let me explain it a little bit more, right? I don't expect Arsenal to win the Champions League. I still think Bayern Munich will win the Champions League. I don't expect yet Arsenal to win the FA Cup because although we've got a favourable draw, we are not in the final yet. I do expect Arsenal to win on Sunday because I think we will win on Sunday, number one. I think Man City are in a poor position right now. They just played, nearly 70 minutes with 10 men. That's taken a lot out of them. They've just been knocked out of the Champions League as well. We've just had a morale-boosting win. We're 9 points clear. It's an opportunity of getting your hands on the first trophy of the season. I expect us to win that on Sunday. And I'm expecting us to win the league because for the past 3 years, we have been competing for it.
I think what the chat have taken that as is if he doesn't win 2, then he can go because he's a disgrace. That's not what you've said. You've said you expect to win 2 trophies, and that's fine. I expect to win on Sunday, and I expect to win the Premier League. But if he doesn't win both of them, I'm not going to go, well, off you go, get this Enrique, and what a clown he is. I think some of the chat
but the point I'm making is we were told, this is what I'm saying, when me, Positive Dan, Strict on stream, we get told that every single trophy has the same merit. That's what we get told. We get told that every single trophy is the same. A League Cup is the same as a Champions League, and a Champions League is the same as a Premier League. That's what we get told.
I've not said that, that's the narrative. And this is the problem, you see, right? People from both sides misconstrue what people say. Because Lee Gunner said, oh, the League Cup is enough to keep Arteta in the job, doesn't mean that I think that. Like me personally, I think that he has to win the league this season. I think if he ends this season, bearing in mind the position we're in now, with just the League Cup, it's not enough.
But the thing is, though, right? If we won the Premier League, right, and won the Carabao Cup, but lost an FA Cup final, the Champions League final, and we didn't play offensively, or we didn't go for it enough, you can guarantee people will be maybe you, but there would be other people calling for his head probably if we lost 2 finals. Do you know what?
You're never going to keep everyone happy. You're never going to keep everyone happy. But
I've heard a man say, even if you won the treble, they want him out.
Yeah, well, that's just stupid.
I've heard a man say, a man has come on this show, by the way, and said that. I was like, what? Yeah. Comes on the show. What did he even say? He's like, oh, this season.
Who said it? Who said it though? Who? Say names.
Shane. I'm scared of Shane. Shane, brother. Shane. What's his name?
Yeah, Shane. Yeah.
He's like, I still want him gone. I was like, what?
Well, he's gone one better than that before. I was on the stream with him earlier, actually, on Jiz's show, but he's gone before. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. He said if we win 2-3 Premier League titles on a trot, and a Champions League, and a League Cup, plus the FA Cup already got, he goes, it wouldn't be that good anyway, because really, if you balance it in 10 years, it wouldn't be that good if you add it all up. I was thinking,
you're getting to that. Yeah.
The agenda's mad, bro. The agenda's crazy. The agenda,
and the thing is with this team, right? This team,
Shane might be right. Shane might be right. We just have to wait till the end of the season. But I'd be interested to see how he gets on because to me, when I watch and see stuff on clips and that, it sounds to me he would rather Arsenal not win nothing just to prove his position. That's what it seems like to me. And comments like that, like you just said, he said, and the one I said, he said earlier. What, Kenny? What, you disagree?
Yeah, I do. It's wrong. You know, we all support the team differently than others. Yeah, some people's patience is more than others, but I haven't heard Shane say that. He was, you know, when we got to the League Cup final, he was crying, tears of joy. We got to the League Cup final.
No, tears of pain. Tears of pain, man.
No, tears of joy. Tears of joy. Look, you got to think about the bigger picture, right?
Do you actually think Shane doesn't want us to win? Because I don't.
No, 100%. You know. This is what we're doing right now is that we've got this beautiful day out on Sunday where if I was to be churlish, I could say there's a lot of people who on this panel associate with a certain man who called the League Cup a rubbish trophy because because of the banter they have with Man United fans. Now, some of you guys know this guy very, very well.
Say names.
Mr. Lyle, your mate Lyle.
Oh yeah,
Lyle said
Robbie.
it.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, Lyle said it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to use it against him.
The thing is, Ken, listen, if Man United this season only won a League Cup, we would say to them, all right, it's only the League Cup. And if that's all we win this season, teams will turn around to us and say, it's only the League Cup.
Yeah, but who gets
Like,
the enjoyment?
let's be real.
Yeah, but who gets the enjoyment? Who's going to be
Well,
celebrating?
we all enjoy it when we win it.
Yeah, but who's
that's banter between rival fans. The thing is, we get bantered by our own fans.
Yeah, but let me tell you. Let's deal with facts about.
Yeah, but this is half the problem, though, because you got both sides again, yeah, and both are just as bad as each other. So when Arsenal lose a game, all the so-called negative ones are, oh, like myself or whatever. Oh, get him out, get Arteta gone. Oh, you're deluded, blah blah blah. And now we're seeing the same thing in reverse now because Arsenal are in the same position. I think we should all just be happy.
Because Brandon,
D, listen, because whether you like it or not, even the ones that you would consider negative were only voicing their opinion in that way because they want Arsenal to win trophies, and they didn't think that Mikel Arteta was the man to do that. Now he's proving otherwise. If he goes and wins trophies this season, I highly doubt you'll hear a single person say Arteta out. I highly doubt it. Yeah, just because you have two different ways of going about it. You lot, fair enough. You believed in the whole thing the entire time. Some of us had doubts.
It's changed, isn't it? When it's on the other foot, the narrative has changed because when Arsenal were top of the league and competing, everyone was still saying you guys. When certain people were trying to stay positive or certain people were trying to show the long form or to see the vision, nobody wanted to see the vision. Now you want to be all understanding and a bit more measured
I'm not saying I'm being understanding.
I'm just saying in general, not just you in particular. I'm just saying in general, everyone wants to be a bit more measured before the outcome that they feel will happen, so that no one can say, "Oh, see, you guys were the."
Because I think all of us in both camps believe Arsenal winning trophies this season, and that's all that matters. That's all anybody wants.
No, but it's not though. That's not what
it is because we've gone 6 years without winning any, bro. Come on.
It's not. What people want is to be right. They don't just want it to be winning because if you want being right is very different to just wanting Arsenal to win. It's two different things. And a lot of the time people they'd rather be right than people win. Of course, everyone's an Arsenal fan. They want everyone to win. But there's a lot of people that would rather Arsenal win with a different manager.
That's it.
That they would rather it not be Arteta that win because so that they can't say, "Oh, I was wrong." That's the point I'm making. That's just the facts of it. It's like we kind of play into it a little bit as well. I need Arteta to win so I can say I was right. I'm a little bit part of that as well. But I've been like that because I've said
it. It will hit better for me if Arteta wins it than if someone was to come in. If someone had come in this season and won, I'd still be over the moon. Listen, Arsenal's won the league. But I've always said it would be because of the process, because of going to the Emirates. It's like I'm watching a movie and I need that happy ending, the good.
Yeah.
I need that ending with Mikel. He's a former captain as well. People seem to forget this as well. He's a former captain. He knows the club inside and out. You can see the job he's done. He's brought in players that want to play for the badge. He's brought in players that will die for that badge. Will do anything. They're dying out there. They're pouring their hearts out for it. And they're players that, obviously straight away at first, players like Aubameyang, Ozil, great players, superstars in their own rights, but not players that are going to go and die for the badge. And that's exactly what he's done. And it's what everyone wanted. Everyone wanted to see Arsenal competing. I said it the other day on my interview on AFTV that, these are moments we wanted. We were stuck in the Europa League. We hadn't been in the Champions League for 7 years. There was 30,000 fans in Unai Emery's last game. I remember losing 3-0, and it was under Arteta, by the way, to Tottenham when they beat us to finish in the top 4. But we all knew that season we were seeing something change. This is what we all wanted as fans, to be in a position to fight. It's what everyone said. Everyone said, I just want to see my team fighting, going out there, give it their all. And this is what Arteta's done. And all that was missing was the trophies. And now the trophies are going to come.
All right, let me bring in Lee because Lee has said nothing and he's been chilling and patient.
Sorry, Lee. Just one thing.
Lee knows, bro. We're going this eternal glory.
Just one thing. Like, there's obviously we've got the Arteta ins, outs, and the people in between, whatever. What I can't stand Yeah, and this I can take it from rival fans because it's part of the game, so to speak. Is how Arsenal fans have rubbished the Premier League. It's the worst title race it's been ever. It's the worst standard of football, and conversations like that. And it makes me wonder if, and this is why I said that earlier, like some fans actually don't want us to win this because to discredit what we are doing and what we've done up until this point just shows how strong people feel against the manager. Now, you can dislike the manager, you can have your reasons, but you can't claim it's Arsenal over Arteta when Arteta's actually doing something and you're actually putting your hate for him above the club. This league is difficult this year. It has been difficult. Otherwise, we would have wrapped it up long time. Long time.
Anyone can beat anyone.
Anyone can beat anyone. We've seen Wolves.
Wolves have shown that, man. They've beaten Liverpool. They've got a draw against us. You know what I mean?
West Ham have turned like anyone can beat anyone in this league, and that's what makes this league very beautiful. It's not a case of like we have a strong league. We just have a league that is unpredictable, which is what the product is. The product isn't your La Liga. There's no drama in La Liga, but in the Premier League, it's definitely drama. You know, so when people are, oh yeah, it's the worst league in the world, and it's Arsenal fans, the same Arsenal fans who, when we finished second last season, didn't hear them say, "Oh, it was the worst league," because in its super narrative.
Ryan, who comes on AFTV with us, what's his name, Kalako. I heard him say in an interview after the game, and he went, like, listen, bro, I question whether he's an Arsenal fan, but he's got an Arsenal tattoo. He goes home and away, so he must be. But I don't know if he's doing it for his...
Oh, Ryan, last brother Ryan.
Profile. Yeah. And what he said was, he was like, oh, if we somehow scumbag our way to a Premier League, then obviously I'll take it. But no, there's no but. There's no but. Yeah, if we win a Premier League, there's no but. And like you said, rival fans, that I want to hear you crying because there's nothing you can say. So I get it. I get rival fans saying, "Oh, but you play dead football, but you have to call corners. You've got nothing to hang on to, so you need to say something." I remember before in school times saying to Man United fans, "Yeah, but we play better football. But we play better football." But really, I was envious. I wanted them trophies. We never won back-to-back Premier League titles. Do you know what I'm saying? So when you hear your own fans, that's what rattles me the most. And especially when we're winning. Last season, when I first started doing content, at the end of the season, me and my boy Dan, who I do it with, negative Dan, positive Dan, whatever, and he was slating off like Arteta. And I heard, like, listen, I didn't agree that he had to go, but I understood it. No trophy in 6 years. How could I not? The first year we regressed in the league. But when we're top, I've come on this show, Dan, how many times, or on my own show, or whatever show I'm on, and I've got people like slating off the manager at every chance they get. Everything's always his fault. There's never no positives. Even when, like, for example, we beat Aston Villa 4-1, it's, oh, but the first half we could have been 2-0 down. Why are you starting with that? How about the 4 goals we scored? How about the win? Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm with you, Stricto. Like, I'm glad you bring that up because for me, I don't care when other fans do it. I really don't because it's normal. But when you got your own fans, like, you know, saying, oh, yeah, but, you know, they'll throw it in, oh, yeah, we're top of the league. But I have to say, the standard's been crap. That ain't for us to be saying that. Do you know what I'm saying?
We don't care.
Yeah, and we don't care. We shouldn't care. And another thing that Ryan said on that, we were talking about the best teams in the Premier League. Now, listen, maybe he is just being generally, maybe it's how he feels. But I don't know any other Arsenal fan that would say this, especially went to that era, because everyone loves that era more than they love this team, yeah? Obviously, that team won trophies, so let's see what happens when this team starts to win trophies, because this team could win the Champions League, something that, listen, I love Henry and Bergkamp and all of them. You know, you will never see football probably like that, but this team could eclipse them quite easily by winning back-to-back Prems or a Champions League. And what he said was the 04-05 Chelsea team was better than the Invincibles. And I was like, is he just trying to, like, play up to other fans, trying to get validation?
Did you say that, bro?
Yeah, he said that, bro. And I'm thinking, as an Arsenal fan, how do you say that? Like, I don't know. When I was in school, because obviously I went to a London school, me and Ken both found out we went to the same school today. But when I went to school, it was literally you ride or die for your team, Arsenal or Man United. I would be cussing Ferguson, they'd be cussing Wenger. And, bro, even if you were in the wrong, you still backed your team. Do you know what I'm saying? Or you'd say anything. But now it's like this, since I come into this YouTube space, it's like it's a thing where it's like popular to like run down your own team or run down your own manager. And listen, I get it. It has to be criticism, of course. Pundits do it. Arteta probably does it after the game. He probably criticizes his own team's performances. Every manager probably does it. Do you know what I mean? But I just think sometimes people just go a bit too far. But look, as Brandon says, look, we all want Arsenal to win at the end of the day. Listen, I'm not sure if there are fans that really do want Arsenal to lose. Sometimes I thought it was a YouTube thing, but I know people that sit with at the Emirates that are diehard Arsenal. They don't do any YouTube stuff. They don't even watch it. Probably ain't even got the app. But they sit there and slate off Arteta and slate off the players. But it's a coping mechanism, I think, with some people as well, man. We're all wired differently. But yeah, man.
No, it's definitely, for me, it's definitely different ways in supporting the club. We all see it differently. We all want to get to the same outcome. And I've got my opinions on that. But Lee, I want to bring you in, man, because you've been patient and sitting, waiting patiently. How do you see all this, brother? Because I think we need to be a bit careful. What I'm hearing is when we win this league, I don't care about this parade. I'm going to come in on all the people that ever doubted Mikel Arteta. And I'm more interested in going to the parade, if I'm honest, and like join it together with everyone. I think we need to be careful that we're not like, right, you five, you never believed, so do not even think about coming to this parade. Because I've had this before, by the way. Like, I'm not invited to the parade because I never believed in Arteta. Like, oh, okay, who's giving these invitations out? I mean, what's going on here? Like, it's so bizarre. So I don't really get. I think we need to be careful not to do that. And the other way as well, because one thing I never did, if there was someone who never believed, who believed Arteta was better than Pep and Wenger and he can't lace his boots and all that, I never said you're a disgrace. Don't come to my stadium. That's all I'm saying, right? Now, if I didn't once believe that he was good enough to lift a trophy, and now that he is, I don't think it's right for people to then go, well, you ain't coming to this parade, man. You never believed it. What's happening here? Aren't we all like supposed to be celebrating this together if we do win something mad? So that's kind of where I'm at, Lee. But how do you see things, bro?
I mean, look, I'll keep that part of it short. I mean, I don't know who's going to tell anybody that they can go to parade. If you live in London, how the fuck are you going to stop me entering into fucking? That's why I'll stop it there, because if people that are saying that they don't go to the stadium, they're probably not even been to London, because how the hell there are 4 or 5 entrances to get around the stadium anyway. If you're coming up Holloway Road, if you're coming from Finchley Park, if you're coming from any side or the Arsenal side of, you're not, or Highbury and Islington, you ain't stopping anybody. So if there's some ticketing system that I'm not aware about, then you got to tell me about it, because that's the only way. I was at the game last couple of days, not the Bayer Leverkusen game, the Everton game, not too long ago. I don't know who's going to stop me from entering into that facility. It's not going to happen. So let's just keep that moving, right? So let's go back to, let's move that on. But I think, look, we're in a really weird paradox, right? Where you can be very negative about how we play football. You can be very negative about certain things. But honestly, me personally, whatever my thoughts and feelings are about anybody in this squad, any of the managing staff, bro, I'm just focused on Sunday, bro. I can't get my mind off of that, because genuinely, hand on my heart, you know what my feelings are, Dan. I don't trust this team because they haven't won anything, but I also am trying to be very supportive. And listen, do I think the Sunday game's going to make or break our season? No. But do I want to win it? Hell yeah. I've shed out a whole load of money today to get that ticket. So I'll be there supporting the boys, similar to probably many other people on this panel as well. And I paid a pretty penny. So ain't no one going to tell me nothing about entering no parade, because I'm there trying to back the team in any way, shape or form. Do you know, whether it's financially or losing my voice. So ain't no one going to tell me crap. But listen, most importantly, look, it's so weird because we've all dreamt of this moment. We've all dreamt of this moment in the last 22 years. We've all gone through the ups and downs. And Dan made such a great point. I will never forget Emery's last game, that Europa League. And if you go back and watch that game, the last 2 minutes, I think it was Socrates. He's taken a throw-in and he took 2 minutes and everyone was booing him. And we're losing the game. And he just didn't take the throw-in. It was almost like he was intentionally trying to get Emery sacked. And I will never forget that. And I look to where we are now, and we're still arguing. There's still bickering going on about a manager. Now, does he play great crap football? Yeah. But is it winning us the league? Yes. Do I think that we can do better? Yes. But ultimately, I just want to win. I think all the other things about style of play and, is he getting the best out of X, Y, and Z? And is Wanyeri, was that the right move for him? All of this can come after. But right now, it is just about getting over the line because we haven't done it. We haven't done it. But I do get everyone's points about, bro, I feel like we can do a lot more. And I think for the one thing I'm going to just disagree with Positive Dan about, and listen, it's so funny because I'm seeing him online and we've done like 3 previews back to back, but it's funny on with Air TV. But anyway, is I do kind of care a little bit about how we play because I was brought up on the Wenger. Kenny, Potts, you might be a little bit more George Graham. You would have seen that a lot more than me. So you have the comparison between the two.
Hold on,
right?
how old are you about? What are you talking about?
I'm 32,
like
bro.
he's some young team.
I'm 21-year-old. Hey, listen, no hair, but 32, bro. Yeah. But no,
You're not 30.
You're not 32, bro.
Bro, I'm being serious, bro.
Nah, you're
But
not.
anyway,
Get
but
that
look,
birth certificate out, bro. You're a ringer, bro. You're a ringer. Get that birth certificate out, bro. Ain't no way you're fake.
Hey, listen, bro. No, I'm being real though, yeah, for real, yeah. I'm gonna be real, yeah. I look at this team and I just feel like we can do a lot more in it. We can do a lot more, but I'm also just thinking, bro, let's just get over the line, bro.
Yeah.
Because I'll be so real. I'm so nervous for Sunday, not because I don't think the team are good enough. I just feel like there's just something in this team where I feel like we have to visually see it. We have to, the players have to visually see it.
Under Wenger, yeah. And the first 10 years were great, but I mean, come on. I don't know if you was one who wanted him out, but most people probably did want him out, right?
Yeah, of course.
And the football was still good, but we used to get smashed 5-0, 5-1, 4-0 by Liverpool, 5-0 by City, and 6-0 on his 1000th game, Chelsea. Do you know what I mean? So the football was good, but we were shit. So do you know what I mean? What would you rather?
But my thing is, right, it's twofold. My thing, I don't feel like you can leverage that, right? Because I saw this stat earlier on where the whole, and again, I'm not going to try and ramble on, but Chelsea fans are trying to say that they're the new Arsenal, and they're not. And I think the point I'm going to make is that we can't be, because they spent 220 million pounds on 2 players in Caicedo and Enzo. We spent 45 million pounds, and I think it was Ramsey, Walcott. Obviously, there was like 6 youth players that came from like Chesney. We spent there were like 9 players that equaled 25 million pounds. We are not the same. So when you look at what we've spent now, Dan, you can't talk about the Wenger era because he didn't have the money, he didn't have the backing. So when people talk about we want to see better football, we want to be excited. I do want to be excited. 2 things can happen, right? You can have your misses you can have your cake and eat it. You can in certain situations, you can, because we're not asking for something that can't happen. We're asking for him to just be a little bit more imaginative. But I also think
Lee, can I quickly ask you on that point, just really quickly? Do you think, Lee, that he might do that next season if we get across the line, and then we might start to? Sorry, go on.
All I was going to say is I do think it's fair for Arteta to look at it and think, do you know what? Let me get over the line, because we've been here 3 years in a row. He's tried to play the Harlem's Globetrotter football. I've tried to be expressive. I've tried to be front-footed, and it's not worked. So I'm now trying a different way. And do you know what? So I think it was Coach Cams that said it. So shout out to him. We have to give him a lot of. We have to give Arteta a lot of praise, whether we like it or not. You know why? He's won it in his way. This is an Arteta trophy, whether we like it or not, because this whole football that is played in the league has actually been copycat from him. The whole low block, the whole defensive football, the whole throw-ins, all of this kind of the dark.
We don't play the low block though, do we?
No. But I'm just saying, in the league, we're seeing we're facing the low blocks and stuff.
Facing
like that.
Low blocks, yeah.
Yeah. So no, we don't play low. But my point is that the football that is played in the league is is actually coming from Arteta. You look at what Arteta did to Pep when we came earlier in the season, and he had 11 men behind the ball for 65 minutes, right? That is Arteta football on steroids, right? So whether or not we like it, if he gets over the line, which I believe he will, this is an Arteta trophy, and you have to sit back and say, boy, it's ugly, but it's the job done, job well done. So it's hard, but listen, my only thing I'm going to say is, and this is where I feel like I'm going to probably disagree with everybody and maybe more side with Brandon. I do look at it and think if we won just one trophy, I'm not going to say he's got to go, but I do think I'll be very disappointed from the and I think what Brandon said is where I align with him is from the position where we are. And all I look at is I feel
If we
like
only win the league, you mean, Lee? If we only win the league,
if we only win the league, I would be disappointed.
It's
With
mad.
time, with later looking late. Wait. Let me tell you what. Let me tell you what. Let me tell you what.
Disappointed. Arsenal winning their first league title
And let me finish.
22 years.
And let me
We're
finish.
only in the we're
let
only
me
in the
explain. Let me
quarters of
explain because I'm
Champions
interested. Let me explain. I'm interested.
League.
as well.
Dan, Potts, you ain't getting away with it. I want your thoughts on this as well, bro.
No, I actually disagree with Lee. I would not be disappointed if we won the league.
Okay,
but yeah,
let me
go on, Lee. I'm interested to know. Go on.
So you'll be at the parade disappointed. All right, yeah, go on.
Wait, can I land?
Now you definitely in the land.
All right. Listen,
Go on,
let me
sorry,
tell you right. And I think the key phrase is from the position where we are. And I think when I look at it, right, we're in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, right?
Supposed to get a move, boy.
No, we're in the quarterfinal of the FA Cup, right? We're in the final of a Carabao Cup, and I think it would be good to get over the line in the Carabao Cup. So I'm not sitting here saying go and get the Champions League. I'm just saying it would be good because we're in 4 competitions. We're in one of them that I think we're going to win already in the league, right? The Carabao Cup. I think we have such a good opportunity.
Not one already, though, the league. Do you know what I mean? So it's maybe if the league was won already. And
No. Okay, but I know. I said in my mind, I'm banking the league, right? I don't see Man City doing enough to win it. I think they've got too many hard games, right? And I think we've got a good lead. So in my mind, I've banked that. And then moving to the Carabao Cup, right? And I think in these competitions, I think these cup competitions, it helps you to lead on to winning more trophies. And I think it is fair to say, look, he's been here 6.5 years, and he's only got us. I say only. We've got to one final, and that's it, right? So it would be good for him to show me that he can win the big trophies or trophies in a cup competition, one-off game, which could help us possibly win the Champions League, right? So for me, I would be disappointed and again, I'm putting it very clearly, from the position where we are. I'm not talking about from January. I'm not talking about
who got us to that position, Lee?
Yes, no. But Dan, two things can be true though, right? You can still be happy with what we've got, right? If I want, and I'm sure sometimes we all do these farcical things in your mind. Bloody hell! Imagine if I won the lottery and I won £1 million. Well, do you know what? £1 million is nothing these days. But fucking hell, would I be happy? Yeah. But £1 million ain't buying you a house in Forest Gate. Anyone knows it is a shithole in Forest Gate. It is terrible. It is terrible to live in. If you go Ilford,
I'll tell you what was a good example is when you do a bet, you put a tenner on to win like 150. You think if I put 100, I'd have won 1,500 quid.
Exactly right. But my point, do you get my point, right? If you win £1 million and you're giving a house or that Amaze advert where they give away a free house and that house is in Ilford. Again, I'm sorry, Ilford is horrid.
No, do you know what, Lee? I do understand. You know what, I actually get what you're saying in regards to that, but the only difference is the Premier League is the Euro Millions. That's not the £1 million lot.
Okay, it is. No, you're right. It is
different.
But what I'm saying to you is, it's still it's a great price. It's £1 million, bro. Come on.
No, the Premier League is the biggest prize. That's the biggest prize.
But £1 million is a crazy amount of money to all of us.
But Lee, you also said you don't trust these boys.
Not the damn Potts, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, not to Potts, yeah. I mean, and not to Kenny by the looks of it. Look at behind him, mate. Bloody hell.
Yeah, not to Kenny either.
What I will say though, right? Like, I'll be honest, right? Again, and it's not to say that I won't be happy. Of course I will be. But I'm just sitting here saying, like, I just feel like we can, and again, going back to it, eternal glory, Dan. You know me, bro. You know my line. Eternal glory. We can do something that nobody has ever done. And I believe this team can do it. But I don't believe in this team in the sense of us, because I haven't seen it. This current team, I haven't seen it.
Do you know what could happen as well?
You got to find a happy medium. You got to have to find a happy medium.
We could win, like, let's say we win the Premier League and the Carabao Cup, right? FA Cup finals played before the last game in the Premier League, and then it's the Champions League finals. Let's say we win the Premier League and FA Cup. The parade would be delayed if we're in the Champions League final, right? They wouldn't do the parade after the day after the last Premier League game. They'd save it for if we were to win the Champions League. So we could potentially win the Carabao Cup, Premier League, or just the Premier League, or if you're going to have a parade, the Premier League has to be in it. So say Premier League, they're not going to have a parade for a Carabao Cup. So let's just say we win Premier League and Carabao Cup. They would delay the parade if we make the Champions League final. So we could lose the Champions League final the next day. I think that's when it would be scheduled for. We'd be having a parade after just losing the Champions League final. But
but do you know what though? Do you know what though? I think a lot of the conversation we're having is a lot of counting the chickens, because I think
it is
what we're doing. We're now starting to downplay and create scenarios that we would be disappointed with, even though we've won trophy. You get it? I think we've got to be careful not to start doing that.
No, but look, Liverpool won for 4, innit? But they missed out on the big 2. Remember this, Liverpool were in this very same position. Right? They lost the Champions League final and they lost the league on the last day. They won the Carabao and
the thing as well, right? For me, I started off by saying, look, my main focus is Sunday because I'm nervous as hell. But I believe we can do it. But I know
what you're saying. If we win Sunday,
I haven't seen it, and I'm being consistent until I see Arsenal do it. You can't trust them, because I genuinely believe that they've let themselves down over the last 3 years in multiple competitions when we could have had a few more trophies, right?
Yeah, I agree.
So until we actually do it, I'm always going to be nervous, even if it's the 95th minute and we're 2-0 up. I'm still going to be nervous because I know what this team do.
Let's close on this cup final before we do get out of here. Let me just chuck in this super chat from Chaitanya, legendary. Says this team's on the verge of something historic. Winning breeds confidence. Let's go finish the job. All in for the Carabao Cup. No passengers. I actually agree with this super chat. This is what we need to be concentrating on first. It's great to dream and it's great to believe we can do doubles, trebles, or quadruples. But right now it's about Sunday. And I wanted to ask your thoughts on this one, people. I know where me and Kenny are, because we did a show earlier this week, and me and Kenny are on the fence with this one. I think it's going to penalties, and it's a flip of a coin. I hope I'm wrong and we spank them 3-0. But I really feel like this is going to be so tight, and I can see this going to extras and penalties, and then I don't know which way it's going to go. I just pray it's us. I think Kepa's going to play, which I don't agree with. I don't like him. Some people think he's brilliant. I don't. I've laughed at him for 7 years. I don't want him in my goal, but, you know, he is going to be. Hopefully don't put a foot wrong. And he might come...
Then?
Say again?
Is he in his contract that he has to play every League Cup game?
I don't know. I think
it's Arteta. I think it's Arteta thing, because he's not going to play any other game.
But he should play him by rights. He should play him. He's played him all season in the Carling Cup. Like, you got to have some integrity. You got to have some integrity.
Yeah, great.
He played every game, Ken, didn't he?
You got to have some integrity.
Yeah, I'm a big favour of that. I don't think it's going to, make any difference. The best team will win. In my opinion, and hopefully it's us.
Would you play Norgard in the cup final instead of Rice?
No, Rice. That's not a dig at
right. So let me ask why I'm asking that stupid question, because I wouldn't either. What the hell is the difference?
Well, the fact is that if you look at the game against Chelsea, the semi-final, he did play Rice in that game because of the opposition, but he didn't.
No. My point is. If it's a final, you play your best 11, right? And Raya's our best keeper, unless you believe Kepa's better.
I think he might play Raya.
He beat Chelsea home and
away.
I think he plays Raya.
I don't think he'll play Raya. And I'll tell you one of the reasons why I don't think he'll play Raya is because of team cohesion. We are at the stage now of the season where it's the business end. And the last thing you want is mismanagement of men. And you're going to have some saying, well, you've played and got us all this far, all this way into the
Get
final.
us nowhere, man.
And he's dropped you, and that could cause some issues in the background, and you know there might be a divide. Now, listen, I expect him to play the best possible team, but I think he will play Kepa because Kepa's played all through it.
So is Norgard though, Strick. That's my point. So is Norgard. So what do we do?
He didn't play the semi-finals, though. He didn't start the semi-finals at Chelsea.
Norgard didn't start at Chelsea.
No, he did start at Chelsea. He's
played the majority. He's played the majority of the backup games. I lie.
But I think the difference is Dan. Yeah, Kepa is our cup keeper in that competition. Norgard comes in and out of that. He's not one solitude player in our midfield that has to play in the cup. Kepa has been. Do you get what I'm saying? Kepa expects to play in that cup. I think all of us expect Kepa to play in that cup. Now, whether Arteta wants to be ruthless, if Arteta wants to be ruthless and say, you know what, I gotta play my number one keeper.
Would you like him to be ruthless and say, I want to win this cup, everyone plays who's my first starter? Or would you go, nah, go on, Kepa, it don't matter if you let one go through your legs. It's only a cup final.
He's got cup final experience, though, Kepa.
Do you know
whether you like it or yes?
Kepa's not a dead keeper like
he's
that.
got cup final experience of ballooning it over the bar and losing Chelsea the final. That's what he's got.
You know what is there?
Anyway.
For me, yeah, the key. Sorry, Ken.
I don't rate him. I know you guys like him and rate him. I just don't rate him.
I don't rate him like that. I didn't even want him signed in the beginning, to be fair. But that's the whole Chelsea Arsenal business thing, yeah. But if I'm being real with you, the most important part in the goalkeeper situation is the Arsenal defense, is who sits in front of him. That's what I care most about, because I think the defense is so good. Dan, we could probably have you in goal and everything.
And you ain't seen me in goal, bro.
I've got to admit, I disagree with that. I honestly think Raya should start in the final.
I agree with you 100%.
Because even when you look at the Leverkusen game yesterday, right, we was 2-0 up, and then Raya has to make a blinding save with 10 minutes left in order for it to not get a little bit nervous towards the end. There are going to be moments in that cup final where we are going to need the goalkeeper to make saves, and I think at the moment, Raya is probably the best goalkeeper in world football at this moment in time.
Agreed. But what Arteta do?
I don't care about all of this. Oh, it might upset Kepa and blah blah blah. At the end of the day, it's a final. We're judging Arteta based on trophies this season, and if he's genuinely feeling like that he needs to win this trophy, which I think he should be, then he should field his best 11, including.
I'm 95% sure he plays Raya. The reason why I asked you,
we'll find out.
I think he will. The only reason why he might not is because he's got it in his contract. Maybe Kepa. Maybe that was in his contract because he's a number one keeper. That's a number two.
Don't you believe in integrity? Don't you believe in integrity though? Don't you believe in?
No, fuck integrity. Win by any means necessary.
Look
at Chelsea. Chelsea getting fined for a lack of integrity.
What are you on about?
That's nothing to do. That's nothing to do with it. Like, listen, he's played football. He's played in games. He nearly cost us in that semi-final. There's no chance he should be playing. Oh, and listen, let's see what Man City do. Listen, I don't know. They might have I'm not trying to be any. I'm not trying to be any Luco here, but they might have had a word for each other, yeah. Because I don't know, yeah, they might have had a little word, because I don't know if he plays Trafford. If he plays Trafford, it's even, isn't it? But if he plays Donnarumma, hold on. If he plays Donnarumma, and we play,
so let me ask you a question. Let me ask the panel a question now, right?
Sorry, what was you saying?
Man City have just gone out of the Champions League. It's looking very unlikely that they're going to win the Premier League, and there's still a little bit of a way to go in the FA Cup. Do you honestly think that Pep Guardiola is going to choose Trafford over Donnarumma for this game?
Yes.
Really?
He would.
Because I don't think he will.
Look, Pep has been putting Semenyo as a 10 and putting Cherki on the bench.
I know he's been doing that, and that's
he
why.
does all of that with his players.
But in a final where don't forget he's under a lot of pressure to win as well. Pep is under a lot of pressure.
That's
Man
not our
City
business.
fans
That's
will be
not our
looking at
business.
Pep this
We've got
season.
into
If
the
he wins
final.
nothing, and a lot of them will be saying maybe
Don't
it's
get played
time
every
to
game
move
as
on
well.
from.
Listen. I agree
It's a
with
big
you.
game for them.
I'd rather play our best players. I would rather play Raya. I have the same team that we have in the Premier League, yeah. But I know what Arteta is going to do. I'll be highly shocked if I see the team sheet come.
We've seen
Sunday
it
with
before, Strict though.
with
We've
Ray on.
seen it
I will be
before.
highly shocked. And I think one of the main reasons is how do you manage your player who has got you to the final? You might disagree and say, he hasn't played, he didn't play well in the semi-finals, but he has been the cup keeper up until this point. Yeah. I think if Arteta that I know, he's starting Kepa. Whether you agree with it or you don't agree with it, he's starting
Definitely
Kepa.
is.
And I don't think it's a case of contract. I don't think it's a case of contract because Kepa's been in goal and got us this
Arteta,
far.
I know, will not start him. He'll start Raya because listen,
He
look
will
what happened with
start Kepa.
Ramsdale.
He's gonna
Look what
start
happened with
Kepa.
Ramsdale.
And you're wrong, mate.
Look what happened with Ramsdale. Look what happened with Ramsdale. Not
Yeah, but
good.
Don't wind
Ramsdale-
yourself up. Don't wind yourself up. Don't wind yourself up.
No, I think Raya's going to start.
All right,
Nah,
I'm not even
will
a
be
betting man. I'm not even a betting man. But all right, guys, I'm gonna put my account details. Yeah, you lot all put your money in there. Yeah.
Well, I'm not. I don't. I think Kepa is going to start. So I don't.
Hey, Stricker, make sure you give me the last 3 digits on the back of the card as well, please. Yeah.
No, I don't want to play this game because I'm convinced that. Look, I'm convinced.
I think
Kepa
Raya start. Listen,
and Trafford are
Kenny,
gonna play
10, tell me what year it was because I made this very point a couple of months ago on this show,
Yeah.
and Shane, as usual, was like, "No, you got it wrong," because I thought it was Maninga, and he was like, "No, Maninga only played because Seaman was injured." But when I done my research, and it was Richard Wright who played every round, quarterfinals, semi-finals. I think Stuart Taylor played 1 round, but he was injured. 3rd round, 4th round, 5th round,
or 2001.
I think it was 2002 when we won it. And Richard Wright played every game, and in the final, David Seaman was brought back in.
I understand. But
So it's not like it's never happened before.
Yeah, but
Wenger's like a charming man and all that.
You know why Wenger did that? You know why Wenger did that? When Wenger first came to this country, Wenger fell in love with the FA Cup, and that was his trophy. You remember it, 98,
97,
98 when we done a double. That's when he fell in love with the competition. And then when we were in finals every year in Cardiff, he fell in love with the competition. But something was irking Wenger where he needed to win the Champions League. He needed this team.
Trust me, man.
And that's when he changed. But at the time, it's different. But I'm telling you now, when we won the FA Cup in, was it in 2017, Petr Cech was the number 1. He played off spinner. Petr Cech didn't play in that final. He didn't.
I know. You're right. You're right with that one, yeah.
So it's been done. Arsenal managers have played their cut goalkeepers.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that people are going to see David Rice.
I've asked the chat because the chat are never wrong, right? And 79% of them would play Raya. So
no, I think we would all play Raya.
No, but is that the question though?
The question is
it's not who's Arteta or Kepa. What would Arteta do? I think that's a different question.
And it's very risky. If Kepa comes in and has a bad game and costs us that, mate, even me, Arteta's lawyer, as people call me, I'll be saying that he got it wrong and he should have started Raya. Unless there's something in the contract where he has to play him. Because these days in football, there are strange contracts.
You love the contract stuff. Well,
no, because someone said it earlier on the stream I was on, and I've heard. I don't know if it's true, but it wouldn't surprise me. Because
it's all about.
Why would you go to the club to be a number 2 when you're number 1?
Do you know what? Yeah, we're talking too much.
These lot might be right, you know, Dan. Because we've got to remember, Emmy Martin
are on form and are ready to win the title.
Martinez started in the FA Cup final, didn't he? And he was there. I know Bert Leno was injured at the time.
He was injured,
yeah.
So we don't know with that one, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's all that matters. Whoever's starting has to play for that shirt and play for that badge. Like, because we could be here saying, you know what, don't start Raya, and then fucking Gabriel has a stinker.
Exactly. No, you're right. You're spitting facts there. Everyone has to turn up, no matter who's wearing the shirt. That leads me to my last question. What's the role of Max Dowman for the rest of this season? Do we see a lot more of him? Do we see him for the last 20 in games? Does he start some games? What are we saying, panel? Because I mean, me and Kenny had a chat about this, and it was like, I don't want to see him going World Cup. I don't want to see him starting. I want to protect this kid, and I hear it, but I do kind of want to see him because what I saw the other day was a madness. And if that can help us contribute to winning trophies, I've got to see it, man. So I don't care who comes
You know
in
what
first.
I will. You know what I will say, right? I think for me, I'm very cautious about Max Diamond, and I look at it only from listen. I was a school teacher for 8 years, so my main programming comes from the safeguarding and the exposure. But bloody hell, is he a talent? Is he a talent? He looks unreal. So you're kind of thinking, bloody hell, I've got to look at him and try and protect him. And do you know what? I really like what Arteta did on against Bayer Leverkusen. Let him go out and warm up. Didn't bring him on because I think I don't think it will get to his head, anything like that. I don't think that's going to ever happen with someone like Max Diamond. His dad seems to be very, very Arsenal orientated, and his brother and his dad have just become his agent as well. So I think that's actually good to kind of always have family around you. But I just think sometimes you've got to let a kid be a kid at times. Now, listen, there are anomalies like Yamal and stuff like that, and he may end up being like that. I don't know, but I just think let him have a bit of time to just grow into the team. He's going to get a winner's medal hopefully for the league as well. So that's going to start him off, starting the ball rolling. And he's going to have so much time, and he can be that ace in the pack. But
Lee, sorry to cut you. Let me ask you, what does protection look like? Because I hear that word gets banded often, and I want to understand what that actually looks like.
Question.
I think there's always that saying you've got to protect athletes from themselves because they always want to play, even if they want to go through injury, right? And I just think we're dealing with a minor here. We're actually dealing with a minor. He just turned 16 on December the 31st. So I think, listen, you've got to be careful. You've got to protect a guy from himself because there's so much going on in this world. There's so many parts of moving parts and things move so quickly. And I just think from a educator's point of view, bloody hell, like he's got his GCSEs to do. I mean, we've all done them. Like how stressful was that? Like he's not going to go through this experience again. And one thing I love about Saka, the guy came out with like 7 A's and a couple B's. And that's what I love about Saka is actually his IQ more than anything, because when he's not playing well, he still sometimes makes himself effective in the game in other ways. So I think, look, he's still playing a part. I'm not saying remove him totally from the team. I'm not saying don't play him again. But I just think you've got to be very measured in how you bring him into the team, because genuinely speaking, we are dealing with a kid. And what I don't want to happen is what's happening with, funny enough, Saka, Palmer, and Foden. They look gassed out at 23, 24.
Yeah,
I think we're not in a position where, and we shouldn't need to be. We don't have to rush him in. We've got fucking Madueke. We've got Eze, who's bloody lights out right now. We've got Saka. We've got Martinelli. We've got Trossard back. We've bloody hell, for all intents and purposes, you've got Calafiori who plays centre forward at half the game anyway. So you don't need to force Max Diamond in the team. Like, have him around, put him in, give him 10 minutes here and there, like, and let him grow and develop. And then, do you know what? Maybe next season he starts a few games and you bring him in, because again,
I think your message is a good one and a strong one. And the reason why I say that is because I think with Diamond, like, we all get so wrapped up in loving Arsenal that we just care about Arsenal. We forget about the human side of actually life. And Diamond is, like you said, is a child, like you said, from an educator's point of view. And I think we've got to remember that we've got to protect him from the issues in the world. It's not so much like Arsenal's not the be-all and end-all of his life, because he's going to have to deal with his actual career, injuries, what happens when his career finishes, stuff like that. So I think we've got to be careful, because a lot of kids would be like, oh, I don't need to do education. I'm going to make it out football anyway. A lot of kids would naturally think like that at his age, and he's probably going to school and he's thinking, you don't need to worry about maths and English and stuff. But the fact of the matter is, Diamond needs to understand, and his family probably making him understand, that life is bigger than just you playing football. And I think it's down to us to do that as well, and Arteta to be like, listen, you need to stay grounded. Like you said about Saka. Saka had to go to school before he was allowed to play football. His parents would never allow him to get away with that. your school was first. And
He's Nigerian, isn't he? Nigerian parents.
I think the only see him come on.
That's what Streeto's proud. Streeto's proud. Look at him. Streeto's smiling, grinning. Even though the African Cup of Nations is a mess right now after their foolishness the other day.
And you know what? Listen, again, I know we all bust jokes, and we know that there is sometimes a very strong, strong emphasis with African parents, Caribbean parents, Indian parents, or Asian parents, South Asian, East Asian. But it actually isn't anything to do with demographic. It actually is. Listen, the guy's 16 years old. Let him actually grow up.
He goes to a private school as well, though, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, as I said, I know the school he goes. It's not far from my house at all. And listen,
don't the lads go to that same school, Lee?
So he still goes to, so there's, because Arsenal have a few attachment schools, right?
Guess what? Yeah,
he goes to one of them, but it's the school he's always gone to, right? Anyway. So, but it's a very good school. It's a very good school, and Arsenal, they actually, they take it quite important for their education. But for me, as I said, look, I just think you've got to be a lot more. You got to be very careful how you expose people, because we know in this country, the one thing we all know in this country, the news articles, they're going to bring you up to tear you down.
But Lee, look at you now, isn't it? I don't think as much. Listen, I 100% agree with everything you said about safeguarding, because at the end of the day, he's still a kid, irrespective of what he done on Sunday, irrespective of his ability and his talent. But unfortunate for Max, like every other super kid, yeah, there's a machine called the media, right? Yeah. And there's also a machine called the commercial side of things, right? I've seen him already started doing Adidas adverts, right? So what I'm trying to say is, I agree with everything you say, but I don't think it's in his hand or his parents, or ultimately it's in their hand because they represent him, right? But let's say he gets picked for England, yeah? Do you think his representatives, which at this point are his parents, are going to say no? Because then that's a next step.
Walcott's politics side, did that? Do you remember Walcott in 2006?
Walcott had the same experience.
Yeah. You know these guys though with Max Damon. You got to look at the football.
At least he scored a goal though. Walcott hadn't played a minute.
You got to think of the football point of view, why he shouldn't start games. Because you guys like the fact that he was singing, he's playing the violin. He's not going to be playing the violin when he starts games, because he's gonna the way we play at Arsenal play, he's got to have the same responsibilities as the other 9 players.
Yeah, 100%.
Be part of the press, like I said, mark his man at corners, mark his man, stop the overlaps from the full backs. At 16, you're giving him 4 or 5 things to do. He needs to be playing off the cuff. The minute you give him all these instructions, he'll crumble. So get him off the bench where the teams are tired and he can sing and play the violin.
That's the only time you'll see him. We'll see. The only time we'll see him, if we're in control, if we're 2-0 up against City, you won't see him. If we're 2-0 up or 1-0 up against Bournemouth, you won't see him. If it's 0-0 against Bournemouth in the Premier League, like it was against Everton, and it's not working, and it's the 75th minute, you're going to see Max Dalman. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I agree. And that's only when we should see him. And where I sit at the Emirates, the guy who scouted him sits literally. He's such a loud guy. Always, he's one of the best fans. And the person who sit next to me was like, "Do you know he's the guy who actually scouted Max Dalman?" And it's just, and apparently, like you said, who was it who said it? Gunnar Lee. They're massive Arsenal fans, aren't they? Like proper. Yeah.
I know when we went to Madrid last season, we played Madrid, they held Max Dalman and his family back and said, "What do you need? Like, we'll give you everything you need." And he said, "No, I'm massive Arsenal and I'm staying there." And Real Madrid was like, "Oh, shame." So they obviously see, Real Madrid can spot a talent, can't they? That's without a doubt. But I think, for me, this kid's going to be sick. He's going to be sick, man. He's just going to be so good. I look at Saka and Wilshere at 15. I didn't see, like we have now, the social media that we do. But from what I hear, they weren't as good as Max Dalman at 15. So this kid could be unbelievable. And we're talking like ridiculous elite level. So let's see what we got. Let's close with predictions then. Kenny, are you sticking with this for the weekend, bruv? Are you sticking with penalties or you changed your mind?
No. It's the two brilliant teams, 2 very good sides. too close to call. Both teams can't afford the defeat. It will hurt us, but it will be catastrophic for Man City. So expect a tight game and expect to leave Wembley about 10 o'clock.
Oh dear. Positive, Dan?
4-0 slaughtering.
Oh, do you believe that, or are you just trying to be...
No, I do believe that. I do. I think this is our time. Revenge is on the cards. They've done it to us. They beat us 3-0 in that final. I was there. It was on my birthday. It was freezing cold. One of the worst days. It was horrible. Look, 4-0. I'm going.
All right. D?
Go on, Stricto. You can answer for me, man. Me and Stricto got our own
He's
little joke.
already saying 2. That's 2-0. He's saying 2-0. He keeps
All
it safer than a condom, bro.
What you say? What you say?
Well,
What you say,
let me tell you though, not all condoms, bro. Because some of them, bro, near misses, bro. Yeah, near misses, bro.
There's no gay as well, innit? That defense, Krishnikov and all that, they're going to be all over the place. We'll score a corner early, put it on them, and end it off 3 or 4-0, I think.
Jesus Christ, you might as well not turn up to the match, mate. You've got it all sorted there.
You know what? Yeah, for the same reasons Kenny Ken said that, they're going to essentially put all the eggs in one basket. They want to win this game because it might be catastrophical for them if they don't. I actually agree with that, but I think that is what's going to make them crumble. I think the fact that it's going to be so intense. We can sort of afford. We have our own different pressure. We have a pressure of having to try to win our first trophy in 6 years or whatever, right? But I think for them, Pep having gone empty last season, and this is possibly his only realistic hope, will put pressure on them. And then the pressure of everyone else wanting them to beat Arsenal is on top of that. So I actually think what Positive Dan said, but I won't go with 4. I'll go maybe like 5. I'm joking. I'll go 3.
Could be 5 though.
Man. I love that optimism, man. What are you saying, Lee?
Do you know what?
Lee, you've been quite good lately, bro.
I know I had. Do you know what? I'm 2 for 2, bro. I'm 2 for 2 right now. So I'm gonna go with.
Just say 7-0 then.
No, I'll say. Do you know what I'll say? If Kepa plays, I'm gonna say 2-1 Arsenal. If Kepa doesn't play, I'm gonna go 2-0. I'm gonna go 2-0 if he doesn't play.
Okay, Brandon.
I'm going 3-1 extra time. 3-1 in extra time. I think we score 2 in extra time. Yeah, I think we go 2-1 up in extra time, and Man City come forward to try and get it back, and we hit them on the counter.
All right, so we'll leave it 9:30 then.
Any goal scorer? Anyone going out with any goal scorers?
The reason why I say that is because Man City had to play 70 minutes with 10 men. That's going to have taken a lot out of them. And I think if we get to extra time, I think they'll be done for anyway.
Well, good elite. If it goes to extra time, Goalkeeper won't score any of the goals because he'll be off by 60.
Well, there you go.
He's been keeping him on lately, man.
As if Lee was going to go with Gyökeres to score. Come on, man.
Do you know what?
Would anyone start Gyökeres?
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone, yeah.
I mean, Brandon, why the fuck did you ask? You bloody got your pom-poms out for him, mate. Come on, Brandon. Go on.
Absolutely. I think he's actually starting to understand the assignment now and what he has or what he's required to do.
I would hope bloody so. 7 months later, Brandon. I would hope bloody so.
Yeah, we had to give Havertz 55 games before we could judge him. Come on, mate.
Look,
but don't forget Havertz. This is Havertz's team.
And then one thing different for another. Come on,
Brandon, don't remember this is Havertz's team. Havertz is the best player in the team. Havertz is the main man. This is Havertz.
You wanted to be vindictive because you know Havertz is my guy, so you wanted to mention him and say it's fine, don't worry. It's fine, don't worry. Do you know what? I hope
Havertz and Odegaard.
I hope Gyökeres scores. You know why? I hope Gyökeres scores. You know why? Because he was bought in for these games. He was bought in for Bayer Leverkusen. So
you know I want to score. I want Bukayo Saka to get the winner, mate. Give me that, please.
He needs a goal. He needs a goal.
I love him for leadership, man. If there's anyone,
gives your number, right? And Gyökeres scores a hat trick. I'll give you a call. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait. Go. Do you know? No, do you know what? I don't even want it. Not even a hat trick, just a goal.
Just one goal, yeah.
Give me one.
Hey, you know what? I want him to. All I want from Herman Munster. Sorry, Gorkarez. I just want him to sort of. I just want him to beat his mark. I just want him to beat his marker in a foot race. That's all I want from him. I've never seen him in a foot race.
Do you know what I want? Kenny, can he just trap the ball? Can he just trap the ball? Just the bare basic.
It was his best game yesterday, though. It was his
No,
best
yeah,
game.
he was good.
I thought he was
good.
Best game.
He
Looked
was
sharp. He
It
looked
was
very
good.
sharp.
It was good, man.
Yeah,
It was good, man.
Very, very sharp.
Look, let's be real. I don't care who wins us it. Just let's win it. Let's just win it. Like, if I could be picky, I'd love Saka to win it for us. Of course, I would. But if it has to be Rice or Gabriel again, let's do it, man. Let's just win.
Or
this bloody-
Hincapié. I can see Hincapié popping up with a goal.
How good's he been, by the way? How good has he been?
Quality.
He's
Sign him
been-
up. Sign him up. Doesn't matter how much money it costs. Sign him up.
Yeah.
He plays like Heinzer. That's how Heinzer played at Man
Yeah,
United.
true,
Yeah,
man. Yeah,
Just
that's
like that. You know what I
so
mean?
true, man. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
But-
That is so true. I
Boys,
remember
it will
watching
be
him. He was
Bukayo
exactly
Saka
like that.
to lift the trophy. How beautiful would that be? Hayland Academy, captain the squad. I think that's Tony. Last captain would have been Tony Adams, right? To do that.
Well, I think
Everyone
yours-
glowing, everyone
Odegaard,
glowing, yeah?
you want one hand on that trophy.
Now
You want his
Odegaard.
left hand on there.
I mean,
Yeah,
Odegaard.
I was going to say, they'll roll Odegaard out just to lift the trophy.
Yeah,
probably.
just so he can. Yeah, let's do it. But look, let's make sure we just win it, guys. Let's just make sure we win it. But that Hincapié, man, I think he's better than Calafiori. I've got to be honest. I'm looking at him now, thinking, wow, there's some serious levels, man. Serious,
It's close.
You know,
Very close.
really? Oh wow,
Very
I
close, I
thought
think.
you'd agree, man.
Close.
So you don't think
depends.
Calafiori's been better than
No.
Hincapié?
It depends what you
Yeah,
like out of the two.
Calafiori's
I
a
think
monster.
what I like about Hincapié is that Hincapié is dirty. You know, I
Yeah,
love,
Yeah,
yeah.
man, I love
love
it.
a
He's
bit
that
of that.
old school passion,
Yeah,
aggression.
I love a bit of
I
that.
think Hincapié is better than Calafiori defensively as well. I think Calafiori is good going forward, but I think Hincapié is just as good going forward as well.
Yeah, I think well, for me,
Defensively.
when you
Very
look-
different players, but they're
the
both.
thing I like
good,
about Calafiori is that he's so chaotic. He goes everywhere on the pitch and he pops up and you know what we was talking about. Remember,
Scored a
we
great
were all
goal against
saying, is he one of the best finishers at the club because of the types of finishes that he's got? So you know he's got so many little points to his game, but
They've
I
both
think
been
when you
good,
look
man.
at all rounds, man,
I think for a final though, yeah, Hincapié, yeah. I think for the
Yeah,
final, we're going
Hincapié,
Hincapié though.
But do you know what? How bloody good is it that we've got two? Because we were
Exactly.
stuck with bloody Liechtensteiner. Fucking
Yeah.
hell.
Stop that. No,
Can't go back.
please.
Andre Santos.
Oh,
Remember
oh my god!
And
Remember?
Hey, he got us.
Kolasinac.
He got us top four though. You know.
No,
Mm.
remember
Yeah,
when-
it's from the
remember
way
when-
to
Yeah,
see
he
us
did,
top
he
four.
did, he
when
did, he
Santos
did,
was
he
the
did.
first
Yeah,
game against them when we played Van Persie at Man United, and he swapped shirts with him at half time.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my god! I lost my
Yeah,
head.
that one. Yeah.
I lost my
That
head.
guy
I couldn't
was-
believe what he did.
That guy was an
Um,
absolute stinker, man.
one stat-
Kolasinac was the worst, man. Oh,
Oh
Jesus.
mate.
How
One
bad
stat I
was he?
forgot to say, Dan, was you know everyone talks about like where Arteta subs and that. I only saw a match of the day the other day.
Yeah,
most
21
goals
subs.
and
That's
assists.
crazy.
Most
Yeah.
goals and assists combined from substitutes this year. Arsenal 21, the next best was Brighton on 14.
That just shows strength in depth, man. That shows unbelievable strength in depth with his squad, man. So
And great substitutions.
yeah, and you know what? Even the other night, Leverkusen, when I was there with my dad, we had 2-0 straight away. He gets the subs on, and I thought that's quality. That's just what I want to
Yeah.
see.
He's learning, isn't he,
Norgard
as well?
coming on. There was I think he made 4 subs or something with him. I was like, this is
I made
just what
5.
we need.
He made 5 subs against Leverkusen and made 5
Yeah,
subs
Dan,
against
Dan.
Everton.
That's the day Shane. That's the day Shane that Arteta gets these subs right. Couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
To be
Hey,
fair,
hey,
he got his rotation right as well.
Yeah.
Because I was
Hey,
interested in going into that game. Bearing in mind we got the game on Sunday as well, I thought he's going to have to rotate the side a little bit, and he did. He changed 4 players to begin.
Let me ask the panel this before we end it. I know Dan, everyone wants to go.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
Who would you not start? I know we've talked about Kepa and Raya. Just
Luke
put that one to the
Skywalker.
side.
I won't start
Who
Luke
would you not
Skywalker.
start?
I won't start Luke
I
Skywalker.
think
Max
if we're being serious, I think that I definitely would not start, and it's not because he's not good, but I just think that it's just better. There's better players in his position, and that's Mosquera. I think Mosquera, I would not start him. I would definitely start White, but White. I thought White fantastic, bombing up and down that right hand side.
What,
We know
against Doku? No chance.
No, Timber's going to be all right for the final. I think Timber.
Oh, is Timber back? Is Timber back?
He's Timber back for the
I don't
final.
know. Is he?
Oh,
Is he? I don't
no,
know.
I didn't know.
No. Arteta said that Arteta's indicated he'll be back for the final.
Shane reckons he's got to have surgery in the summer.
No,
All our
I
players need to have surgery.
I wouldn't start Martinelli. I wouldn't start
no way.
Martinelli.
No way.
And I wouldn't start. Who was the other one I was thinking
You
of?
know what? That's a tough one though, Brandon, because I don't know what you guys.
I can see Trossard scoring in the final.
Trossard in the first half yesterday,
I don't like
losing
Trossard. I don't like
so
Trossard,
many
man.
times.
But he could have had a hat trick as well, though, couldn't he?
I can see him scoring though. Trossard, I can see him scoring.
He was frustrating in the first half. I agree. I think he was trying to
How many
overcomplicate
games has he gone without scoring a goal? He's gone. Hey, he feels like forever.
When was the last time Martinelli scored though? That's the thing.
He scored against them though in the Community Shield, didn't it?
Trossard scored against them in the final, innit?
Yes, yeah.
I just think Trossard helps us retain the ball a lot.
Well, by the way, you know, Pep's won all of his games around the League Cup, and all his finals. But Arteta has played 4 times at Wembley as a player, won 4, and managed 4 times and won all 4 as well. And he's beat Pep Guardiola.
Something's got to
Where
give.
do you get your stats from? You know yourself. Where do you get the stats from?
Yeah. Bro, you don't know about that, bro. You don't know about that.
What, you just made what? You just. Where did you get that stat from? Like, how did you know that?
I just know it, bro.
Yeah, but from where though? Did you go online and Google how many finals?
Let me tell you, bro.
Of course he knows it. It's Arteta's lawyer. Of course he's supposed to know things like that.
Yeah, bro. I did a preview down, bro. Man was coming out with bare facts, bro. I was like, what? Me and Cecil were like, what the fuck?
You can't even fact check them. You don't even know if it's true. You just believe it. It's mental.
No.
Oh, why is he gonna be like that, bro?
You can check it, bro.
Nah,
Now you're convincing.
Yeah, he beat Pep in the semi-final, innit? He beat Pep in the semi-final when we won it in 2020.
Even Wenger beat him in the semi-final.
He beat Lampard in the final, and he won 2 Community Shields as well. So that's the 4 he won. Beat Liverpool and beat City in the Community Shield.
6 years ago, Dan. 6 years ago, mate.
I'm just saying. I'm just stating the facts.
Ago,
and then
we believe you. We believe you. Dan. I was only joking.
Oh yeah, my God.
Nah, he's as a player and a manager, he's never lost at Wembley. I'll tell you. No, you're right. And look, I just want to win this damn trophy so much, and it's not because I love the Carabao Cup more than anything else. I appreciate it, and I remember growing up winning it. But at the same time, I just think it gives us so much more chance of winning the Premier League. Even though I think we will win the league, I think it will give me that reassurance that we can go and do it for sure, and just gives that winning mentality, man. Get a feel for it. Do you know what I mean? City have won this many times. They don't need it. We need it. Do you know what I'm saying? We really need it.
What's your score prediction? You didn't say.
I did say, but I said it on another show. I think, I think 1-1 and it goes to penalties, and then I have to go back my boys, man, and say that we'll go through on pens. But I think it's going to be tight as hell. Horrible.
Question think it might get a bit tasty, lads. Think it might get a bit like.
Hope so. A bit of bite.
I want to scrap. I want to play something. I was at the League Cup final in 2007 when we had a scrap with the Chelsea.
Yeah, that was fucking mad. Yeah,
that's the most exciting thing. You know what? I've got a scenario for all you guys who want Kepa involved in the final. What about if we get the penalties and he substitutes Kepa and gets Ryan go for penalties?
Oh God.
No.
Come on.
Kepa's all right.
Come on. It's happened though, isn't it?
Is he the one who refused? Did he refuse to come?
He was the one who refused to go off. Yeah, Chelsea. Yeah. Can you imagine if Arteta does a reverse thing on him?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, don't.
You're bad-minded. You are bad-minded.
I genuinely want to.
I've seen it. I saw it in 2019, and we saw it. I think there was a final. Liverpool and Chelsea. I think the Chelsea goalkeeper changed penalties. I think where he took off Mendy and brought Kepa on for penalties. I'm sure he did. He must have done it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
decent penalty stopper, to be fair. Kepa.
Hey, some continental managers, they're mad. They're not logical, man.
Yeah.
If
Kepa said he's not coming off, Arteta will go on there and
Arteta will go on the pitch. 100%.
But he can't do that,
Yeah,
Arsenal. Arsenal we don't play
We'll
them
drag
games
them
over
up.
here.
I don't think it'd happen. I think he just stick with him. But yeah, I don't know. I just hope it don't go pens. I hope I'm wrong. And you guys, I hope Dan's right and it's 4-0. I'd love that. That's what I want. But let's see. Listen, people, it's always a pleasure. Big up to everyone that's come on. Have I got any more supers before we go? Just this one from Luke says a similar Glock goal to the one against Inter. Yeah, that was one of my favorite goals, actually. I actually thought Gyökeres was all right the other night. So let's see what happens. Big up to everyone that's been here. Kenny Ken, make sure you're following him on social media. Positive Dan, how can people follow you, brother?
Gooners Therapy, Gooners with a Z. We're live every Monday night at 9 p.m.
Love that. D?
Same old, man. Fams on TV, man. You know, just chaos over there, man. It's normal, man. You know how it goes, man.
Love that. Brandon?
Yeah, just here, there, and everywhere. You know me, Dan.
Love that. Lee?
Listen, I don't want no one following me until we win. That's it.
And only if Gyökeres scores as well. Yeah.
And yeah. If only Gyökeres scores. But listen, I'm sure I'll see all you lot down there on Sunday, man. It's gonna be a good one, man.
Yeah.
Hey, what's your Nigerian age, bro? I'm not having 32 before we
Serious, bro.
I'm not
I'm
living there.
30 years old, bro. I don't know why I was.
Yeah,
bro,
32 is mental. The worst thing is no one
Yeah.
believes you either. The worst thing
One
about
of
it.
them, I'll be Femi Martins. Where
Oh,
it's like,
how old's Carney?
The one called Canu, that Canu.
Kanu, yeah.
I was at 68.
Oh, no, bro.
Do you remember Taribo West? Remember Taribo West?
Taribo West, yeah, man. That was the first
Colours.
player I used to buy on the. Remember the
Yeah, the
red
colours
champ
is
in
it.
2002? 2002, the red champ manager. I used to buy Taribo West on a free every time.
Bro,
2002.
I'm young in the face, man. I'm young in the face, man. Don't worry.
Come off it, man.
It's
Bro,
the
get
height
your
and the broad shoulders, man. That's
Get
what
your
it
birth
is.
certificate, bro. Get your birth
Bro,
certificate.
it's like my mum's, man. It's like my mum's. I don't keep that stuff up, man.
Love that. Stricto, big up to you, man. What you got coming up?
Yeah, people, as usual, man. Strict on YouTube. You know, we do the watch alongs, and me and the Fam Zone TV. We do Monday night 7 p.m. the Arsenal way. So yeah, man, that's pretty much it. But yeah, strict for the most parts.
Love that, man. Make sure you're following all these guys, people. They put out great content and they're great lads. And hopefully we can celebrate a trophy together on Sunday. We're out of here, people. See you next time. Up the Arsenal.
Come on, Arsenal, man. Come on.
Not the Gooners.